California's got another atmospheric river of moisture coming. The Pineapple Express is on its way right now, forecasted for this next week of the 13th. Here you can see the counterclockwise rotating low pressure that's pushing this river right into California. It almost seems like there's a high pressure system in the bottom end of that flow there. See kind of a clockwise rotation. Here's a video from the 3rd of March, I believe. People below the dam. There are people fishing right there. And yeah, I guess they're not too smart, or they just don't know how dangerous the situation is with the Oroville Dam. Here's some up-close footage shot by a helicopter, California Water Department, showing you the scale of how massive this thing is. You see the shadow right there. Not much left of that sluice box. Could you imagine all the gold that was displaced from all that bedrock? We're talking about California's new gold rush below this dam. You wonder, with all that material that got blown out of here that is being removed by these guys in that bottom channel, what are they doing with that stuff? Are they checking it for gold? Are they processing it? Or what? Here's another section. You can just see all the debris right there that's just clogging up that area. They have to get that out of there before the next rains come. Here we see them working to clear the channel and get that engine room up and running again so they can run the water through the hydroelectric plant instead of running it over the primary spillway or the emergency spillway. As of March 11th, officials have pretty much said that they must use the damaged primary spillway. They have no choice. Just to give you an idea of the scale of this spillway, here's the guys right at the base of it. Look at how puny they are. Like a couple little ants. As of 3/3/2017, they've got the water level down around 40-some feet or so, but every day now the water level is rising by about 3 feet since they shut down the main spillway to finish this work, and that's with no rain or anything coming in. The next couple days they got water forecasted. As of March 11th, in the past 2 days, the reservoir has gone up by 20 feet. Not to mention 30 plus feet of snowpack up in the mountains that's going to be starting to melt pretty soon. They have to get this all cleared out. If we get any warm rain up there or anything in the next couple days or weeks, these guys are in big trouble. As of March 10th, this is what Central California has coming for it. The Pineapple Express, huge atmospheric river of moisture. From some information that's been leaked from the area, the people in charge are saying that if water level begins to reach close to the emergency spillway, that they're going to call the mandatory evacuation orders. Officials are saying that they will this time give 12 to 24 hours for people to evacuate instead of an hour.
Top secret CIA Weather Control Division, Dick speaking. I mean pizza store! What kind of favor?
Gold in them hills. Oroville is situated at the base of the foothills on the banks of the Feather River, where it flows out of the Sierra Nevada onto the flat floor of the Sacramento Valley. It was established at the head of the navigation on the Feather River to support the gold miners during the California Gold Rush.
In the early 1840s, California was a distant outpost that only a handful of Americans had seen. The sleepy port that would become San Francisco had just a few hundred residents. One of the wealthiest people in the region was John Sutter, an affable Swiss immigrant who came here in 1839, intent on building his own private empire. Sutter soon built this fort, amassed 12,000 head of cattle, and took on hundreds of workers. His most prolific crop was debt. He owed money to creditors as far away as Russia. But Sutter was a man with a dream of a vast agricultural domain that he would control. By the mid-1840s, more and more Americans were trickling into California by wagon and ship. Sutter welcomed the newcomers, more subject for his self-styled kingdom. But Sutter had no idea that the trickle would become a flood, a deluge of humanity that would destroy his dream. Sutter's undoing began here, 50 miles northeast of his fort, on the American River. In late 1847, James Marshall and about 20 men were sent here by Sutter to build a sawmill to provide lumber for Sutter's growing ranch. The sawmill was nearly complete when a glint of something caught Marshall's eye. It was January 24th, 1848.
I reached my hand down and picked it up. It made my heart thump, for I was certain it was gold. The piece was about half the size and shape of a pea. Then I saw another.
Here in Northern California, on the western slope of the Sierra Nevada, flow the clear, sparkling waters of the Feather River, a river once prized for its gold, a river once feared for its floods. Today, the floodwaters of the Feather River have been tamed and stored here in the foothills as the primary water storage facility for the California State Water Project. This has been made possible by an outstanding engineering achievement, Oroville Dam. At the dam site, work began on the first of 2 tunnels, which would divert the river during dam construction. Part of the river channel was closed off. This allowed crews to expose the bedrock on which the dam's concrete core block would be built. In 1963, the placing of earthfill material began. The contractor, Oro Dam Constructors, modified an abandoned railroad to move the earthfill material 12 miles from a gold dredge tailing area to the dam site. A huge bucket wheel excavator scooped up rock and gravel at the rate of more than 3,500 cubic yards per hour. The material was sent on conveyor belts to the train loading area. After it was screened, the material was sent by conveyor belt to train loading hoppers. By filling 10 cars at one time, an entire 40-car train was loaded in less than 15 minutes. 3 sets of locomotives continually shuttled the cars between the dam and the Boro site. At the unloading area, the cars were dumped automatically without needing to be uncoupled. The material again rode the conveyors. The impervious clay going right to the dam, and the coarser material going to a mixing and temporary stockpiling area. Each type of material went to its own specific part of the dam, where it was dumped, spread, and packed down. Inspectors monitored the operation constantly to maintain quality control. In 1964, the second diversion tunnel was completed. By the end of the year, the construction of the upstream portion of the dam rose to 425 feet. In December of 1964, a record flood roared down the forks of the Feather River. But Oroville Dam was ready. And although only partially finished, it controlled the flood, saving downstream farms and cities millions of dollars in damage and possible loss of life. Meanwhile, deep within the left abutment of the dam, the powerhouse was being carved out of solid rock. Up top, construction continued around the clock to build Oroville Dam. Day by day, week by week, the dam grew. When completed, it would stand 770 feet high. It would be 6,900 feet long, 3,500 feet thick at the base, and contain 80 million cubic yards of earth material. In 1967, the final load of earth was put in place. The last diversion tunnel was closed, and Lake Oroville began to fill with water, 1 year ahead of schedule. Oroville Dam's powerhouse, later to become the Edward Hyatt Power Plant, was also nearing completion. It had been almost 7 years since ground was broken to begin construction, and it was time to celebrate again. On May 4th, 1968, Oroville Dam was formally dedicated by Governor Ronald Reagan.
Here before you is Lake Oroville, filling to its destiny for the use of flood control, hydroelectric power, irrigation, municipal and domestic purposes, and as one of the greatest recreational and fishery lakes in California. And off there is the highest dam in the United States. This is a major achievement of our time, and it's with great pride, therefore, that I simply dedicate Oroville Dam and Lake Oroville to the people of California's future, who will benefit from this giant structure and the water that it impounds. Thank you very much.